Hey there, my name is Pravus. We are back with more Surviving the Aftermath. Man, I remember when this game first went into early access, about 2 years ago, as an Epic Store exclusive. You guys remember that? Well, the game has come a long way since then. We have new content, rebalancing of old mechanics, new threats. It's certainly been a long journey. But as of today, a major chapter in the development of this game is coming to a close. No longer is Surviving the Aftermath an early access title. Instead, as of today, November 16th, the game is going into full release. Very exciting moment for those of us who have been following and enjoying this game for the last 2 years. Very exciting moment for the developers, I am sure. And Paradox was kind enough to offer to sponsor today's video as a celebration of the life of this game, so I am more than happy to oblige. Of course, that does mean if you would like to learn more about the game, you can find a link in the description down below. Now let's go ahead and start up a new game. Now, right away, we're going to find that a lot has changed with this game since the last time I played it, which makes sense. The game has been getting consistent updates over the last couple of years. In fact, last September, a lot of changes occurred that really rebalanced the game, but we'll see more of that in a little bit. For right now, we have this guy called the Settler, who is a new unit for us, and he's going to be able to set up our forward base. Think of him as our forward scout. And with him and a bunch of prefab buildings, we'll be able to kind of get ourselves established before we then light the beacons and encourage people to come into our colony. Just like so. Now, you might think from here that the game is going to be very familiar, right? And we do still need to get some food figured out, have plenty of water, set up some shelters, etc., etc. But did you know that the pacing of the game has completely changed? We no longer can gather metal and concrete in the early game. In fact, you can't even pick up concrete by hand anymore. Instead, the entire early game is focused on just getting some wood and some plastic. From there, we'll have to go to the new and improved research trees, which have been expanded fairly significantly in order to unlock metal scavenging and eventually get things like concrete and such. And each of these, of course, do come with some corresponding upgrades for some buildings and make you a lot stronger. These are the advanced resources now. So it may seem like that's a pretty minor change, but that's actually very significant. It completely changes the pacing of the game. Now, something worth noting, in a previous version of the game, I think last time we played this, you were able to send your specialists out into the fog of war, and this is the way that we would explore the entire map that we are currently located on. But that is no longer the case. Specialists can't go into the fog of war. If you want to explore the area and find out what's going on, then you're going to have to set up some scout towers, and these have a kind of field of view. You can see the ring around these over here, and you have to assign someone to go work over in this area, and that's the way you keep vision. You have to have people all working in coordination, a network of towers all reporting back home, saying what they have found. So that's the only way we're going to be able to explore. So for now, we're kind of stuck in this particular area. Again, just sort of changes up the pacing of everything, adds in new requirements. Now, we really can't afford to dilly-dally too long before we send our guys off exploring, so let's quickly build up the gate. Just as before, get this thing set up, we'll be able to bring in some immigrants and also send our scavengers out to the overworld and find some cool stuff. There we go, and here come our first round of survivors now. Excellent. Let's go ahead and accept. All right, so we got 3 specialists. Let's see. This guy is pretty decent at attack and such. He's mostly a scientist, though. All right, so we want to go ahead and go back to the overworld, and you can see that I have set up our colony as, where am I? Sounds fun. So yeah, specialists, go to the world map. Now, we might want to leave a couple of these guys behind to defend against any threats that could occasionally pop up, and they have been revamped and are harder than ever before. But right now, I am in desperate need of resources and science as fast as possible. So let's go ahead and send our scientist out that-a-way. Let's gather up some free tools, and let's start exploring the area. Now, there are a few little quality of life improvements to note. For example, the little bars down here underneath our specialists, it tells me how much progress they've made on their particular job. And if we do actually finish something by the time our next cycle comes around, it'll give me a little exclamation point saying, hey, this guy is done with this. Oh, God, meteors! Sorry. We'll say this guy's finished this job, so I'll know exactly who to go to and just bounce between these guys. Just little things like that help a lot with the micromanagement. In the meantime, let's go to our science. So, what do we want to get? Great question. I do think getting some basic farming up and running early on will be very important, so we can go ahead and get skinning, which will let me upgrade my trapper building into a proper hunting cabin, so we'll do that first. Then after that, I think we want to start working toward things like metal scavenging and then handicraft. We need to get some tool shops and tailors pretty early on, because if we run out of tools or clothes, it's going to be really hard to keep up. There we go. See? 3 exclamation points. Ooh, okay, so we got a new structure over here. So this is a hangar where you can see I would get 15 science every 12 hours. I cannot rate it like a regular building to get science. Instead, what I would have to do eventually is research, where is it? The ability to place down frontier outposts, then convert a specialist into a settler, which consumes them permanently, and that settler would then be able to go set down a specialized outpost, and we could take advantage of an extra 15 science every 12 hours. Not a lot of science, mind you, but considering finding science on the map is kind of RNG, it certainly can help. So that's something we may want to consider doing at some point in the future. In the meantime, I see candy bars. Let's go get those. Of course, we're not immune to the occasional disaster. We have our nuclear fallout. There are some new ones, by the way, including, for example, a deep freeze, where basically everything freezes over, and if we don't have some heat for people, then they are going to start freezing to death, and they won't be able to do their jobs. In fact, you can construct these burners, which I'll go ahead and place just as a placeholder over here, which provide heat in a radius. We're talking Frostpunk and surviving the aftermath. Crazy, right? Well, the weather is unpredictable. Who would have known? All right, well, I guess we'll go ahead and make some makeshift armor and make people happy, but yeah, these natural disasters, they can still really mess you up. Now, one thing to note is that specialists are a little bit easier to come by now than they used to be. It used to be kind of random, right? Sometimes they would arrive with a group of immigrants at the gate. Now it's fairly consistent. Every like 4 days or so, you will be able to recruit a specialist using some of the currency you'll find while scavenging the world. A scout here seems pretty good. We could spend some food to save on some silver, but I'd rather keep that, I think. Let's just go ahead and recruit you outright. And this is the way you get these extra specialists. But again, it's a little bit balanced because these guys are going to be converted into settlers anytime you want to set up any outposts. So you don't just stack up a ton of them. At some point, you start using them. For now, though, let's go ahead and send Crow to the world map and look for new cool stuff. Ah, boy, the colony is under attack. Okay, well, we have a new little button down over here to sound the alarm and encourage everyone to run for cover and or find some of these rat beetles and start beating them up. Otherwise, our people will get killed. And it used to be only, like, wildlife would attack you, but now you absolutely can get attacked by bandits who sneak around your gate and start shooting at your folks. In fact, in one of my test games, I lost a embarrassing amount of my population because I was not ready for that. Not ready even a little bit. But, oh well. For now, let's just go ahead and get rid of these guys before they destroy all my stuff, if you please. Now, you might think you want to go exclusively for economic boosts, or at least get some better food and stuff, but I would say if you ignore things like happiness, it'll be to your own detriment. If your happiness gets low enough, people will just outright leave. Like, bad things can quickly happen if you find yourself running out of a crucial resource, like, let's say, clothing, or you have too many natural disasters, and then all of a sudden everyone just leaves you. Terrible, terrible things can happen, so don't ignore that. Okay, here comes that winter storm I was talking about. So all these crops are about to die. We should probably go ahead and harvest these. Should have done this sooner, but not used to it. And I have these burners built up, so this is our radius of heat. So they're up and running. They're going to consume some of my firewood, but if that's enough to keep us going for a while, that should be sufficient for me. I don't know how long these winter storms usually last, but from the test games I did, it can last for a surprisingly long time. So be ready for some pretty nasty challenges. Oh yeah, did I mention that there's actually a main quest line in the game now? Yep, that's a thing. Not going to spoil all of it, but yeah, if you want to go down a major quest chain, that is totally a thing in the game now. Wow, this winter storm really has been going on for a very long time. But it sounds like it's just now starting to get warmer. We did build up an outpost depot. I'm going to go ahead and create a settler, and I'll go ahead and use one of the scientists I just recruited since I don't anticipate I'm going to be making too much use of this particular person. So, permanently gone. Bye. And now we have a settler. And with this settler, I'm going to just step right in here over to this sector right next door. And we want to build an outpost. Specifically, I want to build a research outpost since we do have this building right over here. So by constructing this, we'll be able to take advantage of the extra 15 science every 12 hours. And again, depending on what other kind of structures might exist, you might do different things. Some of them don't gather resources at all. They're like instant delivery of resources back to the main base, or a healing site for your explorers as they move around the map, that kind of a thing. Aha, okay, we have finally gotten far enough in the game that I'm able to get concrete again. Gosh, I'm so used to that being one of the first things you're able to get. The fact that I've had to wait about, let's see, 2 or so hours into the game. It's just different, man. It's very different, but I'm eager to see what we'll be able to build. Maybe some upgraded houses? Good news is I have discovered some concrete deposits because I've been slowly but steadily building out more of these scout towers in order to expand my vision. So we found at least a few more things we can take advantage of. And I think the way that these towers work, by the way, is they very rapidly build up the vision initially, and then it gradually slows down the further and further it gets. Oh, good. All right, so we got some people carrying weapons here, huh? Okay. Well, apparently this is a divine cult. That's great. Yeah, no. No, I don't think I'm gonna give you my tools. No, get the heck out of here. Bye. Oh, they didn't like that. They breached the gate. You know, I'm not really too surprised about it, but you know, we've got a specialist nearby and we have a few guards and stuff. We should be able to do something about this. Holy crud, did you guys just set fire to everything at once? How'd you even do that? I have no idea how they pulled that off. Rocket Man! No, don't die on me, Rocket Man! Run! Run for your life! There you go. No problem at all. Yeah, that does happen on occasion. Ugh, having to repair this is gonna suck, but better to lose 40 wood than to lose 40 tools, you know what I mean? Moving forward a fair bit more, we are looking pretty decent for our town. We're in the middle of our second snowstorm. As we are progressing, I'm starting to get quite a few things unlocked, including some upgrades for, let's say, my scrapper and my recycler, so I'm getting more materials. We are, of course, getting the concrete. I've got tenements going up. And we have some memorials, because it turned out my happiness was starting to get a little bit abysmal. We need to have plenty of entertainment in order to keep these people nice and happy. Also had to slay a few sandworms, because never forget, the giant worms of the sands, they'll mess you the frick up, man. They'll mess you up. So there is something that I'm supposed to be building for our main quest, and that would be a Doomsday Bunker. Very expensive. 400 wood, 300 plastic, and 200 metals. Probably not really worth building, but for the sake of it, I kind of want to see what this is going to do. So this is going to really mess up my economy for a bit, and we're going to have to recover pretty quick, but I think we're going to try it. Let's just see what happens. Oh, here we go. We're finally finishing off that first stage of the bunker. Not even sure why we're building a Doomsday Bunker. I feel like things have already kind of gone to crap, but all right. Also working on some environmental cleanup. Finally getting some of that pollution out of the main base. So let's see. Continue building the bunker, they say. Okay. Well, it's going to be pretty expensive, I would certainly imagine. Let's see. Something turned sour. Try not to spoil any of that for myself, because I'm sure I'll play this on my own time as well. Yeah, we have to investigate a smoke pillar now. Okay. Yep, so there's a lot of mixes between exploring and building, and I'm assuming fighting and stuff at some point as well. Just consider it a giant story arc. There's always something to do. Ooh, what is this? Actual electronics. Not just components, but like real electronics? See, I have heard that in some of the latest patches, they change up the resources so there are some you can only gain from the overworld. I think this might be one of them. No idea what I'm going to do with it, but hey, it's there. And here comes our next round of nuclear fallout. Alright, well, the good news is I've been expanding very aggressively across the map, especially looking to grab any of that science, and I've got several outposts set up all over the place. Right now I'm making something on the order of 338 free science every day, which is basically an entire science encampment just every single day. So science-wise, I'm doing great. The only real bottleneck I've got right now is actually going to be metal. If I can just get another scrapper built up, which I am doing right now, we should be able to get more metal, and then I'll be able to continue expanding as much as I want. Uh-oh, we've got a mean-looking group at the gate. This guy's got a really great hat and a crossbow. Frickin' heck, I don't know if I want to mess with this guy. Give them what they demand? Yeah, no, your threats are not tolerated, so I'm going to say, nope, that's not going to be a thing. And 2 people got injured. Wait, I didn't get a fight? Oh, come on. See, I went ahead and just built out an extra tower, and I reinforced the gate, all while he was standing there watching me, mind you. And apparently I didn't even get to fight. Gosh dang it. I was looking forward to an epic battle of truly epic proportions. Well, I mean, at the end of the day, I suppose a couple of injuries is way better. One thing I probably should have done a while ago is actually establish a trade center. We've discovered a few other civilizations out in the world, like Sageford down over here, or some other guys way up over this way. Yeah, New Haven and so on. Probably be worth trying to trade with some of those guys, see if they've got anything really useful. Not that I'm sitting on any major bottlenecks, but it's always good to have some options. So for example, maybe I'd like to go ahead and buy these guys chickens. I don't have any livestock yet. That could be kind of helpful to me. Sure, let's go ahead and confirm that trade. Boom! That's going to go ahead and start working over the next couple of days. We'll deliver a whole bunch of, I don't even remember what I sold them, fibers, I think, plus some of my silver, and we'll get some nice fresh chickens. Oh, here we go. Now we can take a fight to these guys. Get the heck out of here. Fine, you brought this upon yourself. Yes, so be it. Okay, fine. So with the reinforced gate, we actually weakened them quite a bit before they even have a chance of breaching. In fact, they didn't even successfully do that. So we basically have to pay a few resources to repair, and that's it. The only problem with these bandits is I don't think we get anything for beating them. At the very least, I wish I could steal their car. Oh gosh, and 35 medals. That's just, ouch. Oh, here's something interesting I've never seen before. Okay, so I've advanced the main quest a fair bit. Again, no big spoilers here, but now I have to work on something called building engineering outposts, which is new. Never seen this happen before. But take a look at this. We've got some different little metrics for life support, medicine, defense, and ecosystems for our Doomsday Bunker. So apparently we have to set down some sort of engineering outposts and get knowledge about these 4 categories so that we can have a fully functioning Doomsday Bunker. That's interesting. I don't really know exactly where this is going. I just know that this is definitely new. This actually reminds me a little bit of Surviving Mars's terraforming efforts. Not sure if that's intentional or not, but that would be interesting, wouldn't it? So, like, what happens if I drive this guy down over here, since I had to turn him into an engineer? And it works exact same way, by the way, as the, like, Settlers Outpost. You have to use up one of your specialists in order to do this. Build outpost, life support. We can't do that here. That has to be somewhere specific. Medicine we can do. Defense, no. Ecosystem, yes. Oh, so interesting. But it's only 11% efficiency. So what would a more efficient zone look like? What defines a good zone? Well, hang on, there's a symbol right here. Oh, hello. So if we come down over here, in theory, this would be a really good zone. Yep, sure enough, 93% efficiency. Obviously a whole lot better. Does it matter how close I get to this leaf symbol? It does not seem to, no. Okay. Well, we'll go ahead and place this thing down, though it looks like some zones... I just got rid of this guy so you can't see it. Never mind. Yeah, some of the zones, you saw it very briefly, actually can accomplish more than one of these things. So now we have a whole new use for specialists. This is just fascinating now, ain't it? Let's go ahead and get another one over here at the engineering depot. Where did I place this thing? I've already forgotten where I have my engineers. Wait, what the heck? I'm about positive we had it over here. Interesting. So when you place down a new engineering outpost, it actually gets rid of the depot and you have to build a new one. Oh, that's unexpected. Okay. Ooh boy, though. At only 0.67% per day, it's gonna be a very long time before I finish all of this out. Very interesting, though. I'm very curious what that final achievement would be in the Doomsday Bunker. Huh. We come back to that in the future. In the meantime, I think this is a good place for us to end this video in the middle of this horrible, horrible winter storm. Surviving the aftermath, everybody. It's come a long, long way over the last 2 years, and there's more to do in this game than ever before. I'm actually very happy with how it's turned out going into final release. Kudos to the devs, and a big thank you to Paradox Interactive for sponsoring today's video. Of course, if you guys would like to learn more, you can find that link in the description down below. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe, hit that notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.